Welcome to 60 Skills. This week we have a two-part Q&A. So this is going to be broken into two sections. One will be here on the 60 Skills channel, and the other one will be on the Kabbalah page, as that's how the questions basically rounded out this week. So most of the questions this week on the 60 Skills end dealt with clairvoyance. So let's get started. First, in doing pore breathing, I found it really helps if I focus on the legs to Dantian first and slowly include the upper body to the Dantian. What is so different for me than doing the whole body from the start? All right. Dantian, for those people who do not know, is an energy center at the level of the navel, just below. It's used in classical Chinese martial arts and a bunch of other applications. So for those of you not familiar with that language, now you know. All right, my guess would be you've done a lot of standing work, probably in the context of internal martial arts, which are Tai Chi, Xingyi, Bagua, things like this from the Chinese canon. Generally speaking, in those systems, when they pull energy into the body, one of the ways they do that is through the inside channels in the legs. So they'll pull it from the earth up the legs into this lower Dantian or energy center below the navel. So that would be my first guess. Simple physiology can be another one. Some people are just built differently than others. It doesn't really matter. If you concentrate on pore breathing long enough, a good 10-20 hours with that, you'll find that it should begin to sort itself out. Again, everything in esoterica applies to the stress adaptation cycle. So if you're doing something different, or if things seem a little off, just keep practicing until everything balances out. But great question. All right, next. What method can you suggest for turning the Clair sensory skills on and off once developed instead of having them active all the time? All right, great question. For those of you taking the Clair Skills course, this is an important topic within that. It has a lot to do with intention. So the way some people deal with this is when they practice, they put a mental cue into their practice, and you can use the mala method or a string of beads to reinforce this, that they only have clairsentience when they're inside a magic circle. Other people can set it up, again, mala method is good, so that when they inhale and they fill with energy, clairsentience comes on. When they exhale and empty out, clairsentience turns off. A lot of this has to do more with how you choose to structure your access to these skills than anything else. So this is something you also want to do in advance because it's kind of hard to change. So my advice is get something like mala method or auto-suggestion or the string of beads technique and make one of your precepts I have Clair skills when I blank. That way there's a built-in mechanism. And again, how you choose to do that is up to you as long as you use a positive command. But great question. Next question. Well, like many reports and books, people experience out-of-body experience, and they have sensory experience without developing their clair senses. What does training clair senses add to mental wondering? Good question. It makes things clearer. One of the things about the Clair skills that is frustrating is that while we generally break them up into vital, astral, mental, akashic, and non-dual versions of this, although you can't really have a non-dual Clair skill, but that's a whole other argument. There are hundreds of different kinds of Clair skills. This is part of the problem. And they're all trained with very specific energies. So developing your Clair skills is going to allow you to see more and hear more as you mental wonder. With most people, they have some innate level of Clair skill developed, usually with their eyes closed, which is one of the reasons why when they go mental wondering, they can only see certain things. Additionally, highly developed Clair skills make mental wondering easier. So, as is the case with most things in hermetics, there is no free lunch, and having a well-rounded skill set tends to make everything easier. So again, the relationship between Clair Skills and mental wondering is they allow you to see, hear, and engage with more than what you're probably naturally pre-programmed to deal with. And they tend to make the whole process of mental wondering easier. So great questions this week. Apologize for being late this time, but as many of you know, I was busy getting the app for iPhone version of SixtySkills out. So if you haven't checked that out yet and you have an iPhone or an iPad, check the link below. And I look forward to hearing from everyone soon.